Luigi is hot as any hitter in this order for both sides. He ropes one into left field. Ashton Wilson with a long run. It's over his head. Briggs is in. Prince makes the turn. It's a 2 RBI double for Jeff Luigi. And the Hawks fly in front of the Commodores.
Let's go!
Torres clocks the first pitch into right field. Devin Mitchell's right there. Let's check the tag over at third. It comes from Luke Costello. The throw is beautiful, and it gets the out at the plate. A snipe from Devin Mitchell. And that ends the frame as they double him off. 2-2. Carpentier mashes this to left center field. Federico back on it. That ball's in the trees. Dean Carpentier at his old tricks again. Back-to-back games with a 2-run blast. And he gives the Red Sox a 2-run advantage here in the second. Wysong's 1-0. Ripped to short. Wait. Goes to second for one. Over to first. Kelly turns the double play. Nate Wysong with a little help from his defense to keep it a 1-run game despite a pair of singles. This one rocketed towards first. It gets by Hakopian's dive. McKay gets the wave. Doby on his way to third, and he chugs in to tie the game. Gabe Camacho with an RBI double as Hyannis draws level. Tapped into right, and a diving grab from Luigi. A superhuman play from the second baseman. Ends the seventh with a bang. Dorsey faces one above the minimum, but tip the cap to Jeff Luigi with a smile on his face. We head to the bottom of the seventh here at McKeon. 3-2. Rope down the third base line. Miles Davis fumbles the transfer and sails Gabe Camacho. New turns for second. Briggs trying to get it out, and he ends the game! What in the world? But Hyannis is red hot. A first winning streak in July as the Hawks beat the Commodores 6-5.
Well, it was a total sail job from Davis, but look at Brody Briggs. Races over it, gets a good hop off the wall, and a perfect throw to end the ball game.
Micah New didn't even realize that Brody Briggs would take matters into his own hands. Hey Harbor Hawks fans, did you know that the NAC Cape Cod is the official Light Up the Park sponsor of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks all season long? Thanks to the NAC, the lights in McKeon Park stay bright all summer as the future stars take the field. With 2 convenient locations in Orleans and in Hyannis, the NAC is the perfect spot for a burger, taco, sandwich, and much more. Visit thenaccapecod.com to learn more or order online. In the top of the 6th at McKeon Park, Liam Canine takes the ball from Max Stammel in the bottom of the 5th and escapes some damage. Not before Bourne took 3 runs back from the Harbor Hawks, who surged ahead to that 4-0 lead. And now, with the good end to that inning from Liam Canine, he's got momentum on his side.
Yeah, striking out Mark Cotrani was really, really big back in the 5th, but he did allow that single to Sebastian Mexico to begin his appearance in relief of Max Stammel. So how does he carry on? Because clearly Mexico saw something early on, and he probably went back to that dugout and relayed information. But man, it was a great strikeout from Canine of getting Cotrani.
7, 8, and 9 due up here in the top of the 6th for the Braves, who scraped across 3 in the 5th. And Jason Torres takes the first pitch ball from Liam Canine. Forced pitch mix for the rising sophomore out of Princeton. Righty's fastball's been sitting 90 to 92 with a max speed of 94 miles per hour. Torres chops this high to third, nearly gets into Schaffner, but it spills into left. And Torres keeps the barrage going against the Harbor Hawks.
Schaffner gave it a great attempt, went charging in as you're supposed to. It just took a hop under his glove. Kind of skipped on the dirt instead of spinning and catching and flying high. It was a really good effort. It would have been a tough play regardless for Jake Schaffner. And the Braves, for a 3rd straight inning, have their leadoff guy aboard.
That leadoff success has translated on the scoreboard. While Bourne scored no runs in the fourth, those 3 come in the fifth, and now the Braves feeling themselves here in the sixth. John LaGrande to the plate for a 3rd time in this game after his single led off the 5th inning. Liam Canine with a half-hearted spin at first base. Canine taking the spot of Max Stammel, whose line finalized now after a really valiant effort for 4 2/3. He allows 6 hits and 3 runs, but strikes out 5. And Canine looking to further the flashes of brilliance Stammel showed.
Yeah, I mean, Canine, he's got to. He's got no other option. I mean, this is playoff baseball, and he came in, looked really sharp back in the top of the 5th. You just got to carry it through.
1-0 offering. Taken into center field. LaGrande nearly dunks it in the alley, but Owen Prince dives to make the throw. They'll go back to, or maybe not. LaGrande's on first base, and Prince is convinced he caught it. What's going on here?
The umpire said no dice. Sam Finn at first said that ball hit the ground. Owen Prince is kind of in disbelief. It was a beautiful try regardless of the outcome, and so hard to tell. But man, he made a great effort, Owen Prince did, and Torres just kind of got caught in no man's land.
Mitch Carricker is furious, and Owen Prince still convinced he caught the ball. He just saw on that replay, didn't really show itself, but of course he did turn his body over and shielded the ball in his glove. And LaGrande is going to stay on first base, so it's a single with a man on for the 8-hole. We take another look here at Owen Prince.
Yeah, it looked there like he got a little bit of black leather underneath the baseball, between the baseball and the ground, but it was so bang bang. It's so hard to tell. Just kind of a tough break for Owen Prince and the Harbor Hawks.
And now Canine with his back against the wall. He worked out of it in his first frame of work. A difficult hitter to do it against in Riker Waite, the lefty. Squares to bunt, pulls away. LaGrande, a speedster along first base. Jason Torres with sporadic play time for the Braves, on for a first time in scoring position. And Waite has reached in each of his 2 trips to the plate. 1-0, another square. This one locates for a strike. Waite, a rising sophomore out of Vanderbilt, has been here on Cape Cod since day 1 for Scott Landers, having played in 4 of the 5 regular season matchups between the teams. Another show of a bunt, and now that won't even be a possibility.
Nice pitch from Canine. Sometimes when those guys go to square bunt, it can kind of get into the heads of pitchers. It splits the zone in half and can make it look a bit smaller, but he went right back to the heart of it, and a really, really good pitch.
Waite moving down in the order after batting cleanup yesterday. And Canine squares the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hyannis in the driver's seat for much of this game. Bourne has battled back, but Canine can give an energy right back to his dugout with a big couple of pitches here. 2-2. Tails outside to run the count full. And this is what Riker Waite does exceptionally well.
Yeah, he really can just buy time at the dish, make pitchers throw their best, and Canine has been throwing some really, really good pitches, trying to get a little bit of swing and miss stuff from Riker Waite because he's got power too. He's a hard guy to pitch to.
Riker Waite with 15 walks this season. And he has another one here, his second of the game. Have loaded the bases in consecutive frames for Bourne.
Well, the Braves weren't able to take full advantage of the bases loaded in the last inning because Liam Canine came in and took care of business. So the right-hander, he's got to go right back to that magic that he had in the top of the 5th.
Back-to-back innings for the Harbor Hawks with 2 singles and a walk to load the bases. And now Mitch Carricker will make the point to the bullpen. A righty's going to come in the place of Liam Kineen. We'll meet the new pitcher coming into a big spot in the 6th after this. Well, taking the ball from Liam Kineen is Andrew Wirtz, another relative newcomer coming in to a 3rd game this season. A senior headed to Northeastern from Salve Regina, playing after, oddly enough, in the same 2 games that Kineen got into after being activated on July 31st along with Kineen. He pitched an inning at Harwich on August 1st, then comes in 2 days later and delivers a 2nd straight scoreless outing with 3 hits, 2 walks, but also 2 strikeouts. And Mitch Carricker, none afraid to go to his guys that don't have as much experience as some of the others in the bullpen in another huge spot.
And I mean, Wirtz was a guy that did fantastic with the Valley Blue Sox, then NECBL as well this summer. Had a sub-1 ERA with them, so although he's new, he's proved his stuff. And he's proved his stuff in his 2 appearances with the Harbor Hawks this season as well. I mean, is not allowed to run, only 3 hits, but he worked around it. I mean, over 1 2/3 to allow 3 hits, 2 walks, and no runs means that not only did you pitch well, but you pitched well around big spots, and that's exactly what he's coming into right now. So Mitch Carricker knowing exactly the guy that he wants in a big spot, and that is Andrew Wirtz.
Wirtz has pitched in a lot of high leverage situations in his time with Salve Regina. He'll be taking that to a crowded pitching staff at Northeastern that delivered an unbelievable season as CAA champions, going all the way to the NCAA tournament. And another righty to follow up the lefty in Max Stammel, and then Liam Kineen taking the ball from him. He loaded the bases in the top of the 6th, so he's responsible for all 3 guys, as Bourne flips the order for a 4th time in this game in search of a first lead of the series. And Gavin Kelly's reached in each of his last 2 trips to the dish. A single in the 3rd, a walk in the 5th. Wirtz's first ball finds the inner corner. 3 breaking balls out of a 4-pitch mix for Andrew Wirtz. Pretty wide range on that fastball, 92 to 95 with a max of 97, but also has a slider, curveball, and cutter to tunnel it with. Oh, 1 delivery. Chopped down the 3rd base line, it tails fouls. Jake Schaffner gives chase.
That cutter, a really good pitch for Wirtz. He's also got a slider. The cutter, basically the same pitch that just comes in a little bit faster. So that pitch specifically, he can really, really tunnel because it is nearly the exact same. The big difference is just the speed. He can put it in similar spots, and definitely to these right-handers take advantage of some right-to-left movement.
It was one of 14 different pitchers to get in here at McKeon Park on the final day of the regular season. They did an excellent job weathering the storm after Wareham struck early. And now home plate umpire Mike Hinojosa leaves his post and approaches the mound. High leverage spot for the righty Andrew Wirtz with Ryan Cooney waiting on deck and Cal Sefcik in the hole. Righty Gavin Kelly at the plate. 0-2. Chopped down the 3rd base line. It's another foul ball. By just a hair, the runs stay off the board for the moment.
Yeah, Schaffner, as the entire infield is, playing pretty close to go home if the opportunity presents itself. If he were a little bit back on the dirt, that would have been a very easy play, but because he was forward, it would have made it a lot harder to get to that ball if it were fair.
The corner infielders playing in. Each of Doby and Schaffner's feet on the infield grass. The guys up the middle ranging back towards shallow center. 0-2. Flared the other way. Devin Mitchell towards the line. Grabs the out. Torres started to tag and then skips back. Shallow enough to not test Devin Mitchell, who's already hosed somebody out.
That's exactly right. Jason Torres knew this time not to test Devin Mitchell, and it was another pinpoint throw. Mitchell plays it off a hop exactly like they're taught. A little bit tough still for LaChance, but he did a good job blocking it. And Torres, really no thought from him to try and tag. He didn't even budge off the bag when that ball was caught.
Now Ryan Cooney, who reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th and scored the 3rd run, coming up to the plate for a fourth time. And he launches the first pitch he sees, again shallow. Owen Prince coming in, and that'll keep Torres at bay. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Andrew Wirtz.
And 2 perfect pitches from Andrew Wirtz. Getting those kinds of outs, that is huge. Usually those are the ones that will lead to runs, but they've been weak enough to where the outfielders can really threaten, and it's a little uncomfortable to send Jason Torres. Torres has got pretty good speed, but not good enough speed to beat out the big arms of Devin Mitchell and Owen Prince.
This is the 3rd time already that Bourne has loaded the bases, and they've only taken advantage in the 5th. Chance to do just that for Cal Sefcik. And Wirtz fires one high. Just because he pitched at Salve Regina, maybe not synonymous with the heavy competition of the Cape Cod Baseball League, doesn't mean he didn't get into high leverage situations. Did have 1 save in 11 games. Sefcik launches this into center field. Owen Prince will put a stop to it for Andrew Wirtz. He cleans up Liam Kineen's mess and keeps this a 1-run lead for the Harbor Hawks. So look to extend it in the bottom of the 6th. For each Harbor Hawks home run hit this season here at McKeon Park, $50 is donated to the Family Pantry of Cape Cod by Monomoy Real Estate and Construction and Pretty Picky Properties Select Vacation Rentals. Pretty Picky and Monomoy, the team with everything you need to hit a real estate home run on Cape Cod. Well, Caden Bogenpole hit a home run in the top half of that 1st inning. It gave to it a 2-0 lead with a moon ball into right field. And here's how Mitch Carricker's lineup will look to respond in this game. He's got Owen Prince leading off once again. There's Jace Doby. He's gotten himself back into the lineup after not playing a few nights and enters today hot at the plate. Jeffrey Luigi, after playing 2nd last game against Wareham, worked a key walk in that top of the 9th inning where the Hawks took the lead, followed up by Dayton LaChance, who's got some pretty similar, or different stats rather, when catching versus DHing. Ryan McKay and Jake Schaffner, you heard from him pregame, a couple of mainstays in this lineup. They'll be critical entering this final week with Parker Brocious, Sawyer Black, and Charlie Bates rounding out the 9 for Mitch Carricker. Going up against a hometown kid in Ryan Buckler out of Barnstable High School, native of Barnstable, Mass. Cape kid through and through, making start number 4 today for the Kettleers, along with his 2nd appearance against Hyannis.
And he's got a pretty good season going. See that ERA, 2.29, but he's very similar to the style of Mason Russell. He can allow a big hit. He's not a strikeout guy.
Owen Prince jumps on the first ball. Deposits it to Dean West at the track, a long run, and it bounces right in front of the wall. And the speedy Prince easily jogs into 2nd, and the response is on for the Hawks.
And that's a great way to do it. First pitch swinging. Owen Prince doing something we haven't seen a lot of from this Hyannis team as of late, and he just totally turned around Dean West. West was going back with that wrong shoulder, had to flip around at the last minute.
And now Jace Doby up to the plate. Immediately represents the tying run. Rising senior out of Nevada on a 3-game hit streak entering the day. And Ryan Buckler will have to settle in. Good start. Well, for Prince, we mentioned time and time again how often he's stolen bases. Hasn't gotten to do it here, and that's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the reason for it is that he's been over at 2nd a lot.
Gets away from Natilli. Throw to 3rd is late, so Owen Prince uses that speed right away.
Yeah, this looks like it just kind of got away. Natilli went with the back pick instead of putting his body in front of it, and that's all that Owen Prince needs to see to go over and take 3rd.
90 feet from cutting this to a 1-run game after the wild pitch from Buckler. 1-1. Dips low, and Jace Doby, who we thought could be a first consistent 2-way player of this season for Hyannis, hasn't needed to be because of how good he's been at the plate.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. I mean, just doesn't expand the zone too much, really stays in the zone. And he's got a good eye. He rarely will get himself behind an account. It feels like he's always ahead, or at least over these last 3. He struggled a little bit after a very, very quick 4-for-4 start. But over the last 3 games, he's really controlled an at-bat.
3-1. Rope down the third base line. It just bounces foul. Well, Dobie's only worked 4 walks this season. Did have a hit against Wareham last time out, an RBI double in the first inning. That was after 21 walks in his first year of D1 baseball with Nevada, top 5 on his team. Shoots the 3-2 foul. I mentioned Mitch Carricker looking for a third starter. He's also looking for a consistent bat to slot into the top of the order.
And Dobie might be that guy. We've seen him trade off with Gabe Camacho a little bit over at first base, and Dobie also plays a very good first base. So that gives Carricker a lot of freedom to do what he wants with Dobie and Camacho.
3-2 slash to third, a dive for Johnson across the diamond. It's a first out for Katuitt. It also keeps Owen Prince at bay.
I mean, that's just such an impressive pick from Camden Johnson. It was well behind the plate, and he was able to just slide, and also really good base running from Owen Prince. He didn't get jumpy. Imagine that with his speed, he would have beaten out that throw if Camden Johnson tried to make it, but still, just really, really smart base running.
You speak of consistency, one of the first names that comes to your mind on this Hyannis team is Jeffrey Lugie, rising sophomore at Duke, who's made a name for himself so far here on the Cape. Takes a first pitch outside from Ryan Buckler. Graham, a guy that didn't get a lot of run at Duke, and this was really his first opportunity to play with the best of the best on a consistent basis, and it's boding well for him right now.
Yeah, he's answered the call every step of the way. Early on, I mean, he got off to a hot start. Hits in both of his first 2 appearances, and then went kind of back and forth, but man, did he catch a streak in the earlier and mid parts of July, and then just hasn't really looked back. He's worked 5 walks over his last 2 games, but hasn't gotten a hit. He just does what he needs to for his team.
Lugie, a midsummer arrival for Hyannis, one among these guys that was going to have to step up after key departures of guys like Chris Rembert and Miles Bailey, Matthew Murrah and Jackson Willits more recently. And Lugie, as you mentioned, has done just that, but he chops this to second. It should bring the run across, and nearly throwing off the bag, Buckler was Luke Matthews, but Hyannis does scrape one across. Lugie continues to be productive. Here's the defensive alignment for Katuitt. Dean West in left field, Caden Bogenpole in center, Nolan Stevens in right, Camden Johnson at third, Ryan Farber at short, Luke Matthews just made that play, he's at second, it's Taggart Tyson at first base with Zan Von Schlegel, the DH, and Jack Natilli, the catcher for Ryan Buckler. Hyannis draws into the lead, and Dayton LaChance tries to get it back with one swing. Last time he was at McKeon Park, he made his mark a couple times ago against Bourne. 4-for-4 performance, 3 doubles and 3 RBIs to go along with a single. Down quick 0-2 here. Also productive the last time he was at McKeon Park against Chatham on the 26th with a couple of RBIs on a sac fly and a ground out. Catching for Hyannis today. Launched into left field, Dean West was cheating towards the alley, and he grabs a third out of the inning, but Hyannis does bring one across after Jeff Lugie's RBI ground out. 2-1 headed to the second.